I'm burnt out from collecting watches. And if you give me a couple of minutes, I'll actually explain to you why am I burnt out from collecting watches. I'm also quite nervous making this video, which is very peculiar, but oh well. Before doing that, though, I would like to apologize for the lack of material on this channel. We have a very modest audience, but we still do have an audience, so I feel obligated to say that I'm sorry. I guess we didn't really know what we're going to do with it. I guess we still don't really know what we're going to do with it, but oh well, we're doing something now, so I guess that counts. And now to the explanation part. I'm tired of collecting watches, and I would like to see if there is anyone else who's swimming with me in that boat as well, or if it's just my own personal problem. And don't get me wrong, I do really like watches. We all got into this because we like collecting it, right? We like this feeling behind it. Getting a new watch, caring about it because of your own personal reasons, filling it with those emotions because there's something about it that caught our eye, and we just kind of like, let's do this, let's buy this. We don't need this, but we're going to buy this anyway. Now, do you think that this kind of got sucked out of it? The happiness got sucked out of it for a lot of different reasons. Whenever I'm social media lately, I feel like I'm completely not looking eye to eye with the majority of content makers, and I don't think it's wrong in a certain way because people are talking about these products, and you should be talking about these products. It's a must. We're buying things that are usually in the price range of a couple of $1,000s, sometimes one, two, three, four. It's a lot of money in a way, at least. For some people, maybe it's not. For some people, maybe it's more. And we don't really need a watch nowadays. Nowadays, this is a luxurious, purely luxurious piece. We don't even practically use it because right now, if you want time, day and a date, we all have it in here. We don't really need a moon phase unless we're tracking something very important. In some certain professions, you really do need a watch. That's fair enough. But that's about it when it comes to day-to-day life. Do you really need it? No. There's a status thing. There's importance of showing that you have this or that. That is, of course, definitely very important. But out, disregarding that, is it really that important? And whenever I am right now on social media, you have people telling you what you should buy for your anniversary or commemorate some sort of an achievement. You should pick Rolex over an Amiga because it retains value, but no, of course not. You should pick an Amiga over Rolex because it has a better movement, better build. It's cheaper. It doesn't have a waiting list. But actually, no, you know what? Screw that. You should get yourself a Japanese. That's what makes you a sophisticated watch collector. Grand Seiko has all of their dials hand painted, and that's why you should get this. That's where the real value is. But no, actually, you should get yourself an Audemars Piguet, or you should get yourself this, or you should get yourself that. I mean, it's fair enough. And yeah, maybe that sounds like a lot of bloody whinging, and maybe you'd even be right. After all, this is all just adult talk about the product, right? As I already said, we're talking about something very luxurious, something very important. It's a thing that we drop a lot of money on that we don't exactly need in our lives, so we better actually know what we're buying, right? We better actually know that what we're buying is not bad, or is not a fake, or is not going to break down, or is not going to be, bringing more headache rather than happiness to our lives. And that's very much fair. After all, why you should overpay for a Hublot that is just not as well built as Rolex, but still costs like one? I actually think that's a really good question. Why? What if you like Hublot? What if you really like Hublot? And what if you don't really care that it's probably not as well built and the screws are not aligned or something, but you really like the way of that classic Fusion or the Orlinsky or something, and you kind of go, yeah, I'm going to drop the buck on it because I just like it. What's stopping you? Nothing. That's the thing, nothing. If you want to commemorate something with that watch, if you just want to buy it really, then why you should stop yourself. They do make some banger watches in the end of the day, so I don't really see a reason why you shouldn't like it or why you shouldn't buy it. And I think this is where my case lies, and that's how I'm going to present to you. I don't see a problem with the fact that we're talking about the specs of these watches, with the fact how well do they retain their value, with a lot of different things that are connected to it, because it's an adult game, basically, right? It's our own game into this world, or within this world, however else you want to call it. But how many times I have found myself feeling like we completely sucked the real happiness out of collecting. If you're buying a Rolex because of your status, or if you're buying an Amiga because of something else, or anything of a sort, it's more than fair, and you should be doing that, and there's no problem with it whatsoever. But we should be buying the watch because it makes you feel happy for some reason. We should be buying it because it makes your life feeling like you're filled with something. You should make sure as hell that you celebrate something with it. And I don't want to really talk about someone else's story when I buy the watch. I want to make it my own history, my own story. Take Rolex Expedition, for example. It went to Everest. Doesn't really matter that it had a rocky history with Smith's watch, it's more than fair. But it has a story, right? That's great, and I want to be a part of that story, therefore I'm going to buy it, but that's not my story. I just want to be a part of it. But for example, there's Brew that very vaguely says, we want to celebrate our coffee breaks. That's cool, because you want to celebrate your day-to-day life, right? That's a story. That's my life. I celebrate the fact that I am a part of this flow, a part of this process. And I feel like we just don't talk about this much anymore. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be buying a Rolex, you should be buying a Brew because it's celebrating that day-to-day life. Of course not. You can make a Rolex your own certain history, you can make Rolex your own certain story, but it's not about the fact that it's a Rolex, right? There are less and less personal stories out there. What happened to bringing your watch to talk about it in the ice caves? And it was a Rolex Expedition 2, and it just felt like the most perfect place to talk about it. Yes, I am looking and talking about you, Adrian Barker. I guess my point is that instead of celebrating the purchase, and instead of celebrating our lives with those purchases, we started to celebrate the product, which is more than fair. But we forgot why we do it in the first place, I guess. We should be celebrating our lives instead. Thank you for your attention. Take care.